Naruto, the transmigrator, unified the ninja realm and became the supreme ruler of the ninja realm. He then invaded the world of navigation through the coordinates provided by the system. With soil. What? The Tianlong people in this world are so evil, and there are slaves in this world. Kakashi. I thought Naruto was already the most evil tyrant, but I didn't expect someone to be even more cruel than him. Yuji Boban. Naruto is always acting recklessly, and in the end, he shifts the blame onto me. How unfair. Tsunade. Naruto is just a little playful, but his heart is good. Daitsuki Kaguya. No matter what you do, Naruto, I will support you and love you forever. Warring States. Naruto, this child, possesses the justice of the world, and I am very reassured by the position of this marshal.Kato. I just don't agree to join the ninja world, they beat me half to death. 5 old stars. Oh no, hurry up and report to Lord Imm. They are the unified existence of another world. Luffy. I haven't become the pirate king yet, how come there are no pirates in the world? Naruto. What's wrong with me? I just want to earn a little money. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Afei, punished by the whole ninja realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhao's organization leader Afei is cruel and ruthless, treating the world as ants. Today, we are going to overthrow his evil rule. Yes. Now that we all gather together, we can definitely defeat Afei. Since his accession to the throne, Afei has enveloped the entire world with an evil formation that extracts everyone's vitality. He is devouring the lifespan of all people in the ninja realm. For the sake of our loved ones and future freedom, we can no longer tolerate his atrocities. Gangshou's eyes were filled with anger, and Zilai accompanied Naruto by his side, silently supporting him. Gungate's gaze towards Naruto was filled with tenderness. Speak softly. Naruto, if we can overthrow Afei's rule this time, let's go back and get married, okay? I will pass on the position of Hokage to you. I refuse. Why did you set up a flag before the fight started? Is that really good? Naruto looked black. As soon as Naruto spoke, the atmosphere of the entire team suddenly became relaxed. The tension between them was broken by this nonsensical remark. It seems to be saying that even in the face of powerful enemies, there is still a spirit of humor and optimism. Haha, Naruto, you can always relieve tension in your own way. Zilai also smiled and patted Naruto's shoulder. However, this battle is not insignificant, we need to take it seriously. Miyako nodded, knowing the importance of this battle. He turned to face all his teammates, raised his sword, and announced loudly. Today's battle is not only for ourselves, but also for all the people in the ninja realm. We may pay a price, even sacrifice, but this is a necessary path towards freedom. Gangshou looked at Mihiko's back with approval in his eyes. Alright, let's go. Gungate waved his arms and shouted, for freedom, for the future, fight until the last moment. Speaking of which, Lord Ban, why are you here too? Aren't you Afei's deputy? Naruto asked curiously at a glance. Ban smiled, his eyes deep and mysterious. I used to be Afei's deputy, but when he began to embark on this dark path, I realized I couldn't continue to remain silent. I must stand up for justice and peace. You're betraying me. A cold voice came from behind, a ninja loyal to Afei. Ban turned around, his gaze like a knife. No, this is awakening. We cannot let fear rule our hearts, let alone let it destroy our world. Everyone watched as the battlefield was littered with corpses, and the once prosperous rain country had now become devastated. The sky was obscured by dark clouds, and from time to time, the distant roar of war could be heard. The air was filled with smoke and blood, as if every breath was reminding everyone present of the cruelty of war. Suddenly, an endless mist of poison filled the air, and large areas of the ninja coalition died. Not good, it's the senior of Shan Jiao Yuban-san, the legendary half-god of the ninja realm. Mihiko's face was solemn. We can't just give up like this. Mihiko waved his sword, trying to dispel the poisonous mist. At this moment, a beam of light descended from the sky, illuminating the entire battlefield. That's Naruto's nine-tailed chakra. Naruto! Gungata exclaimed in surprise. I saw Naruto standing in the light, his figure appearing unusually huge, like a true war god. His nine-tailed chakra not only dispelled the poisonous mist, but also gave the coalition endless strength. This is our opportunity. Ban shouted as he rushed towards Banzo first. The battle became exceptionally intense, with each attack carrying a destructive force. But the coalition did not retreat. They fought bravely against the enemy for freedom and the future. In the end, with the joint efforts of everyone, Banzo was defeated and his poisonous mist dissipated. We won. The crowd cheered. Senior Banzang, why are you still playing for Afei? Mihiko took a step forward and looked at the former hero with complex eyes. The mountain pepper fish half-hidden coughed, blood-stained, and his eyes were filled with fatigue and disappointment. What's wrong with the world now? Everyone can eat enough and live peacefully. There is no war, no pain, no despair in the world. Captain Afei is never evil. In our eyes, what is evil is you who destroy peace. Senior, true peace is not achieved through oppression and control. What we pursue is a world where we can breathe freely and live freely. Afei's peace is built on slavery. Mihiko's words were firm and powerful. Banzang let out a bitter smile as if recalling his past glory. Perhaps you're right, but I can't turn back anymore. You keep moving forward, only hoping that you can truly bring peace. Quickly, everyone entered the Kingdom of Rain. Changmen, Xiaonan, are even the two of you trying to stop us? Miyako looked at his two former companions in agony. Changmen and Xiaonan stood in front of Mihiko, their eyes filled with contradictions and pain. Mayan, we used to be friends and comrades in arms, but now our positions are different. The voice of Changmen was deep and firm. The leader of Afei brought peace to this world, and it was he who put an end to the war in the ninja realm. It was he who saved countless people, allowing everyone to live peacefully. Changmen, you're wrong. That's not true peace. He ruled over people through oppression and fear. What kind of salvation is this? He deprived us of our freedom, our will. What kind of peace is this? Miyako's voice was filled with grief and indignation. Xiaonan looked at Mayan with tears flashing in his eyes and said, Mayan, I know what you're saying is true, but we can't betray Captain Afei. The buildings here in Rain Country are filled with an evil and dark atmosphere, and the tall tower in front is like a huge black sword, piercing into the sky. Afei is in that tower. Miyako pointed to the tall tower ahead and said. Let's go. Gungata shouted loudly. Her voice echoed in the empty land of rain, as if announcing their determination. Changmen and Xiaonan followed the crowd with complex colors, and they didn't know whether to stop them. After a series of fierce battles, everyone finally arrived at the huge black sword tower, and Afei's figure appeared twisted and lonely at the highest point. Afei. Miyako looked up, his voice firm and spreading to every corner. It's time to end your rule. P.S. Just to clarify, Naruto Sasuke here is a traveler. All of them are vests opened by Afei. There are 4 other shadows besides the leaves of wood. Finally, all adoptive fathers are requesting flower evaluation tickets. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers will be added to 1 watch, and we kneel down to ask for flower support. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Backstabs from Naruto. You are listening at novel full.audio. The highest point of the Rain Country Tower is the highest ruling place of the ninja realm, where every command can affect the entire world. At this moment, Afei stands at the top of the tower, looking down at the world below. His gaze was indifferent, as if he was looking at a group of powerless ants struggling. Behind him is a huge magic formation, devouring the vitality of countless lives in the ninja realm. Ah! Mihiko, you guys are coming in again, Gangshou. Afei sighed, his eyes filled with disappointment. Afei slowly looked down at the crowd coming to challenge him from the top of the tower, his figure appearing even more lonely and cold in the night. Afei, don't struggle anymore. With all the power gathered in the ninja realm here, even a god can't stop our steps. Gangshou's voice is resolute. Afei, your rule has come to an end. The sound of Bufeng Shuemen was full of determination. This world should not be dominated by your own will and desires. Yuzhi Boban stood in front of everyone, his gaze icy as he looked at Afei. Sasuke's face was cold, and his eyes looked very similar to Afei's. The gaze towards the crowd was filled with indifference and alienation. Afei, you're wrong. Gungate's voice suddenly sounded, breaking the silence. Daida. Gangshou's expression froze. He looked at the hand that had penetrated his heart and body somewhat bewildered. I couldn't believe it and looked at my favorite Naruto. Sorry. Teacher Gangshou, you love me so much and will definitely forgive me, won't you? Naruto's eyes were filled with indifference, and his words carried a hint of mockery. Naruto, are you? Tsunade's voice was weak, and her eyes were filled with confusion and pain. Mihiko and the other ninjas watched in shock as the scene unfolded. Naruto, how could you do this? Zilai asked angrily. Naruto, why did you betray us? The tone of Watergate was filled with disappointment and pain. Naruto, please be clear-headed. You are a Hokage who wants freedom and peace, not a puppet of Afei. Ban shouted loudly, attempting to awaken the controlled Naruto. That's not right. I didn't betray, Teacher Tsunade. I never betrayed peace from the beginning. Naruto pulled his hand out of Ganja's body and smiled as if nothing had happened. Naruto, are you crazy? Why did you do this? Gangshou's eyes were filled with pain. Teacher Gangshou, I'm not crazy, nor am I betraying. Naruto's voice is calm. I have been fighting for peace and have never changed. Why did you want to kill me? Gangshou's voice was full of confusion and doubt. Teacher Gangshou, I never thought of killing you from the beginning. You have been trying to destroy my peace. I have worked so hard to create this peace. But you are trying to bring this world back into chaos for this ridiculous freedom. Teacher Gungate, I am very angry. Naruto's voice was filled with coldness, and he looked at everyone with indifferent eyes. Naruto, what are you talking about? Have you forgotten our goal? Jiraiya angrily questioned. Naruto, what are you talking about? This peace was created by you. Shuemen keenly sensed what Naruto was saying. Naruto ignored Shuemen and gently embraced Gangshou, speaking in a coquettish tone. Teacher Gangshou, you must forgive me for hurting me so much. Teacher Gangshou, do you feel any pain? I won't be lenient. Naruto's mouth curled up with a sinister smile, and the chakra blade in his hand mercilessly pierced into Tsunade's body. Naruto, what are you doing? Bufeng Shuemen roared and rushed towards them, but was blocked by Afei's power and unable to approach them. Miyako, Jiraiya, and Bufeng Shuemen all had pale faces. At this moment, Naruto seemed to have transformed into a different person, his body filled with an evil aura. No, you're not Naruto. You're under Afei's control. Tsunade said in pain. Teacher Gangshou, are you an idiot? Naruto almost tensed up. I've said so much, but didn't even one of these people notice. Naruto, believe in yourself. You are the prophesied son who can bring peace to the ninja realm. Zilai also excitedly said. I have brought peace. The prophecy has already been fulfilled, and now it is you who are going to destroy peace. Naruto gently caressed Gangshou's head and said in a cold tone. A hint of despair flashed in Gangshou's eyes. She endured the excruciating pain and tried to keep her voice calm. Naruto, do you still remember the days we spent together? Have you forgotten those laughter and tears, those moments when we fought together? Naruto looked helpless and gave Tsunade's little head a brain ache. Saying in silence. I was not controlled from the beginning, I am myself. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers and 1 watch, kneeling down for everyone's flower support. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3 Naruto. Lazy to listen to your misunderstandings, infinite. You are listening at novel full.audio. Everyone's faces showed a look of shock, and they couldn't understand Naruto's words. Naruto, what are you really doing? Why are you doing this? Zelaya's voice was full of doubts. Naruto gently lowered his hand and stood up, his gaze sweeping over everyone present. He took a deep breath and slowly said. The prophecy is not wrong, I am indeed the son of prophecy, and I have also created peace. Afei is me, Naruto is also me. Why do you still resist me even though I am so serious about fighting for peace and unifying the entire ninja realm? Everyone looked surprised when they heard Naruto's words. Naruto, what nonsense are you talking about? This is impossible. Zilai retorted angrily. Teacher Zilai, I'm not talking nonsense, Naruto said calmly. You mean? Gangshou widened his eyes as if he realized something. Yes, Teacher Gumgate, I am both Afei and Naruto. Naruto's voice was filled with a low tone. This is impossible. How could you be Afei? Zilai also said in shock. Teacher Zilai, do you remember what I once said to you? I said I wanted to create a world where everyone can live in peace. You mean? Gangshou seemed to realize something, and her voice trembled. That's right, I'm Afei and Naruto, both of these identities belong to me. Afei is my dark side, Naruto is my bright side. I have always been protecting this world in my own way, although the ways are different, the goals are the same. Naruto's words are full of firmness and belief. So why did you make such a choice? Gungate's voice was full of doubt. Because I see the cruelty and indifference of this world, I see people's greed and selfishness, Naruto's eyes flashed with a hint of determination. But by doing so, you are sacrificing our freedom. Miyako's voice was filled with grief and anger. Enough, I don't want to listen to your big principles anymore. No matter what kind of world you create, there will always be some people who are not satisfied. Peace is the biggest lie in this world. I will bear all the sins of the world. Use unlimited monthly reading to make everyone fall asleep. It's over, Bane. I used to think you were my fellow traveler, but now I understand, our paths are always different. Ban's gaze was heavy, but he was speechless. Naruto, even so, I still believe that there is still light in your heart. The spot slowly opens. Naruto chuckled lightly and said, perhaps, but before that, I will create a world without pain. After speaking, Naruto closed his eyes and began to gather all his chakras. The sky was shrouded in dark clouds, and an invisible force began to spread on the battlefield. Everyone felt a strong sense of oppression, as if the entire space was trembling under the power of Naruto. Stop him quickly. Gungate struggled to stand up from the ground. Zilai also rushed forward first, releasing a massive chakra in his hand, wanting to break this oppressive force. Subsequently, Shueimen, Zaomiming, and the fourth generation Lieying also demonstrated their strongest ninjutsu skills. A huge shockwave exploded in the center of the battlefield. But what is shocking is that Naruto's figure fluctuates like a ghost in this power, unaffected at all. Everything you have done is in vain. Naruto said indifferently, then his hands formed a seal, and a more powerful force wave swept out than before. The sky enveloped the entire rain country, with dark clouds rolling and thunder and lightning roaring. Naruto's power swept across the battlefield like a storm, and the ninjas felt suffocated, as if they were tightly held by the invisible hand. Quick, we must work together. Gang shouts loudly. Uchiha, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Shuemen, Zaomiming, and the fourth-generation Raikage all formed seals, converging their chakras together to form a powerful beam of light that shot straight into the sky. The beam collided with the power of Naruto, making a deafening noise. The entire battlefield was shrouded in dazzling light, as if even time had frozen in this moment. Although I don't have the strength, you have no chance of winning the tail beasts you have collected so far. I will be the new 6 Immortals, the only one who exists now. Teacher Gangshou, take a look at my current posture. My current strength is enough to destroy the entire world. Naruto's eyes turned into a pair of purple 6-hooked jade reincarnation eyes. Gangshou's wide eyes were filled with shock, and she could hardly believe the scene before her. Is this really her beloved disciple? That Naruto who always smiles, struggles, and protects everyone. What flickered in his eyes was no longer warm light, but cold and merciless darkness. No, impossible. Gangshou's trembling voice revealed despair. However, just when everyone is in despair. Teacher, I will definitely stop you. Dai too held a pair of goggles in his hand, which were once given to him by Naruto. His gaze is firm. Teacher, you once said that true strength comes from the determination and belief to protect others. Now, it's time for us to protect you and bring you back to your true self. Dirty words are full of firmness. Naruto's body trembled slightly, and a hint of confusion flashed in his purple reincarnation eyes. I never said it, I definitely never said it. You stinky little devil tampers with others' memories, so I hate you the most, you bastard. Naruto teacher, have you forgotten what you said to me on the training ground back then? You said, I have my own beliefs and will not be influenced by anyone. The earthy voice was firm and clear, as if to awaken Naruto, who was submerged in darkness. Naruto's forehead was bulging with veins. He was clearly referring to these 2 stinky little ghosts of yours back then. Do not instill the will of fire into others without authorization. P.S. Daito and Kakashi are disciples of Naruto's Ma-Jiayujibwa Sasuke. Now the exposure of the vest is equivalent to Naruto's disciple. Note. At this point, Daito has already activated the divine power writing will I, and his personality has undergone some changes. Essentially, it is still kind. The 3 of them had the experience of killing 3 generations of Fengyin and initiating the Third Ninja World War. The earth-covered kaleidoscope Sharingan is a cheat sent by Afei through the world of giants. Note. Due to the fact that Baiya's death this time was a scapegoat for killing 3 generations of Fengyin for Kakashi and others, he had to die. So Kakashi is not as cold-blooded as the original. On the contrary, it has strengthened the will of fire, justice, and peace. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers and 1 watch, kneeling down for everyone's flower support. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Desperate World, Absolute Freedom. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Naruto teacher, you once said, you want to become a Hokage, protect the leaves, and protect everyone. I'm angry when you mention this. The dark and decaying 3rd generation actually said that I'm not old enough and there's darkness in my heart, so they don't treat me like a fire shadow. Even though I have been working so hard, other ninja villages have become shadows. Why is it so difficult to make just the leaves of wood? Let this decaying world be destroyed. Naruto's anger grew stronger in his eyes. Damn ape flying sun slash. To become the Hokage, your responsibility will be even greater, and you will be responsible for the entire Konoha and the entire ninja realm. The tone with soil was firm, as if reminding Naruto. At this moment, Kakashi also walked up and stood beside Daito. He looked at Naruto and said earnestly. Naruto, true peace is not achieved through control and oppression. It is about everyone being able to breathe and live freely. I was wrong. Naruto whispered. Seeing such a Naruto, Daito and Kakashi both smiled with relief. It's okay, Naruto. As long as you're willing, we welcome you back anytime, Kakashi said warmly. Thank you, I will remember. Then Naruto flew into the sky, and his voice spread throughout the entire ninja world. From now on, all state regimes in the ninja world will be banned. All armies, corporate conglomerates, and any organization will be dissolved. No organization is allowed. There are no laws in this world, and everyone can do anything at will. Including everything you want to do, there will no longer be any currency in this world. No transactions are allowed either. Since you enjoy freedom, I will give you freedom. Satellites above will monitor the entire world. Once you violate all the above regulations, you will suffer a devastating blow from the highest technology weapon in the ninja world from space, divine punishment. Thunder and everything. This is the truly free world I have created for you, without rules, constraints, or pain. Now, you can fully enjoy this endless freedom. Naruto's words made everyone present feel an indescribable fear. They cannot imagine what this world will become under the rule of Naruto. Naruto, you can't do this. Gungate's voice trembled, her eyes filled with worry and fear. Naruto, you are destroying this world. Zillai also said angrily. Naruto stood high in the air, looking down at the crowd below, his eyes cold and firm. I have made a decision that this world needs true freedom. Naruto, you are heading towards destruction. Tsunade's voice was filled with despair, and her heart was as painful as being torn apart. Congratulations. You have obtained absolute freedom without any legal or regulatory constraints. Since you feel that I have constrained your freedom, now you will experience the consequences of true freedom. Naruto's voice was cold, as if he had lost all his emotions. People cannot accept this reality, they are angry, fearful, and desperate. The heroes they once trusted and respected have now become the main culprits in destroying the world. Naruto, do you really think this world is what you want? A calm and firm voice sounded, it was Uchiha. There was a deep sadness in his eyes. This world is not just about pain and constraints, but also about love, hope, and dreams. You cannot deprive everyone of the right to pursue happiness just because of your own obsession. Ban's voice was filled with heartbreak. Naruto's eyes were filled with coldness, and his tone was full of mockery. I have made a decision and no one can change it. My treacherous compatriots. The real world has no light, no hope. What awaits you is only despair. Naruto's face showed a sinister smile. With a sudden wave of his hands, the dark clouds in the sky became even thicker, as if they were about to devour the entire world. Naruto, you are heading towards destruction. Tsunade's voice was almost drowned out by the strong wind. Destruction. No, I'm creating a new world, a world free from pain and constraints. Naruto's voice was indifferent, as if he had become the master of this world. You're wrong, Naruto. True freedom is not lawlessness, but built on the foundation of love and responsibility. Doing so will only plunge the world into deeper chaos and pain. Zelaya's voice is firm. Naruto did not answer. He began to fully absorb the power of the tailed beast. He wants to become a 6th-level ultimate life form today. His power is becoming increasingly powerful, and the entire ninja world is under his control. Suddenly, Naruto felt a burst of pain, as if his body had been torn apart. Ah! 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 His body began to expand rapidly, as if something was about to emerge from his body. No, it's impossible. Naruto screamed in pain. His body began to tremble violently, as if something was struggling to rush out of his body. Gungute and the others looked nervously at Naruto. Naruto, wake up quickly. You cannot be consumed by this force. Gungute shouted anxiously, her eyes filled with worry. Naruto, do you still remember our past dreams? We need to create a peaceful world together, so that everyone can live freely. Zelaya's voice was full of determination. No need to shout. I'm not dead. Naruto controlled Afei's body and said in a cold tone. Then he looked at Naruto's already manipulated body with a cold gaze. He wants to force out the true son of luck, Otoku Kaguya. The manipulated Naruto's body floats in the air, with his eyes tightly closed. The expression on his face was twisted with pain, as if he was fiercely fighting against the strong will within his body. The surrounding chakra waves became increasingly violent, forming energy storms that roared wildly. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers will be added and 1 watch will be added. I beg for the support of all my adoptive father's flower evaluation votes. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5 Naruto. Kaguya comes out, I still have to save. You are listening at novel full.audio. This is. Gangshou's face turned pale, and she could feel the strength of this force. Is this the true power of the 6 paths? Yuzhi Boban murmured to himself, with a hint of enlightenment in his eyes, clearly recognizing the source of this power. It seems that we must be prepared for the worst. Kakashi took a deep breath and said with a serious gaze. Substantial chakras were plundered from Naruto one after another. Naruto has no ability to resist at all. Naruto's entire body swelled into a huge black ball. Bang! Naruto's entire body exploded, emitting a terrifying aura that filled the entire sky. Naruto's half-body was violently blasted off and fell to the ground. At this moment, a dazzling light burst out from Naruto's body. That is a phantom of chakra, who is the 6 immortals of the ninja realm, wearing a large wooden feather robe. He looked at the woman in front with her eyes closed. Sighed and said. Has my mother's seal been broken after all? Mother. What are you talking about? Gangshou asked in confusion. I mean, my mother, Daitsuki Kaguya. The 6 immortals have a deep gaze. De Guan Mu Huiyi. The crowd was somewhat puzzled. That's right, I once sealed her power and hoped she could rest in peace. But now, it seems that her power has awakened. Naruto, this child is the reincarnation of a chakra that I left behind in the ninja world. I didn't expect it to have such a significant impact on this world either. The voice of the 6 immortals carried a hint of helplessness. Are you saying that Naruto is your chakra reincarnation? Gangshou looked at the 6 immortals with suspicious eyes. Why can't the bad old man in front of me get along with Naruto? That's right, the yin-yang chakra on Naruto's body is what I left behind. The voices of the 6 immortals were filled with regret and worry. So what should we do now? If that woman named Otoku Kaguya really comes back, it's probably difficult for us to resist with our strength, right? Kakashi frowned and asked. The 6 immortals smiled slightly and turned their gaze to Afei, saying, actually, you have found a solution. What's the solution? Everyone asked in unison. That's to bring back the true 6 paths immortals. The 6 paths immortals had a deep gaze. The real 6 immortals. Everyone was puzzled. That's right, that's Naruto himself. The 6 immortals smiled and explained. Actually, everyone has their own six paths power, but few people can awaken it. And now Naruto is on the brink of awakening. What do you mean is that as long as Naruto can successfully awaken his six paths power, he can fight against Otoku Kaguya? Gangshou's eyes sparkled with hope. That's right. 6 Immortals nodded, and I believe Naruto can do it. In a sense, it is indeed good. All the chakra seeds of ninjas nowadays are passed down by the 6 paths Immortals. Afei's face was a bit strange. Isn't that to say that everyone is a reincarnation of the 6 Immortals? It's just that the concentration is different. Alright, stop talking. Why do I have to save the world? You are all people who want to overthrow me. Afei's words stunned everyone present, they looked at each other and didn't know what to do. Naruto, you. Tsunade looked at Naruto with immense complexity in his heart. Ha ha ha. You guys, who are all people who want me to die, now want me to save you. Afei's laughter was full of satire and ridicule. We don't want you to die, it's just. Kakashi tried to explain. Just what? It's just that I'm obstructing your path, isn't it? Afei looked at them coldly, his gaze filled with disdain. No, it's not. Zillai shook his head, his eyes filled with sadness and pain. You so-called teachers of justice are just a group of self-righteous guys. Afei's words directly hit their hearts, leaving them speechless. Naruto, you have chosen to use power to unify the world. Although your original intention was good, this approach has caused pain for many people. Gangshou slowly spoke up. Naruto gave a cold smile and said in a cold tone, Gangshou, you still like to talk nonsense as always. No, this is not unreasonable. I just want to tell you. Peace cannot be achieved solely by one person's efforts. It requires everyone's effort and belief. Gungute calmly looked at Naruto, her eyes filled with determination and hope. Enough, I don't want to hear you say these things again. Everyone thinks I'm wrong. You only talk big talk empty-handed. You have actually done anything, even anything. How much effort did I put in to feed everyone? How many years did I spend to end this war? The first ninja war, the second ninja war, the third ninja war. War, deception, greed, jealousy, humanity is hopeless. Naruto's eyes were filled with disappointment. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers and 1 watch, kneeling and begging for the support of all adoptive fathers flowers. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Otoku Kaguya. I must get this. You are listening at novel full.audio. Shut up, I've had enough of your nonsense. I'll go talk to Hui and see what her thoughts are and where the future of this world will go. Naruto's voice made everyone feel a wave of despair. Naruto, calm down a bit. Gungute's voice carried a hint of severity and concern. I'm very calm. Naruto sneered and didn't speak anymore, as all his clones disappeared. In the spiritual space, Naruto looked at the white-haired woman in front of him. Her flowing long hair draped behind her, her eyes tightly closed. Her skin was somewhat pale, and a crimson Sharingan slowly opened above her eyebrows. Wearing a white robe. Exquisite beauty, noble and sacred temperament. The only thing that made his image somewhat lacking was the cute horns on his head, which added a touch of playfulness to his cool and sacred temperament. She slowly opened her eyes, her pure and flawless white eyes filled with vigilance as she looked at Naruto. Yuki, are you coming to stop me again? Otoku Kanzuya's voice was somewhat alert. Give me a reason to live. Naruto's voice was cold, like the declaration of death, causing the temperature of the entire spiritual space to drop. After a moment of silence, Hui spoke slowly, I have made many mistakes before. But now, I long to make up for my past mistakes. Please give me a chance. I'm not a feather jacket, you can call me Afei or Naruto. Naruto's tone was cold. Yui, Mom knows she was wrong. Please forgive Mom, okay? Huiyi didn't listen at all and came up to entrust Chubaba to hold Naruto's hand. You don't need my forgiveness, and you haven't done anything wrong to me, Naruto shook his head and said. As soon as Naruto finished speaking, Kaguya's long hair suddenly spread out, and countless hair needles attacked Naruto. Naruto's body instantly disappeared into place, avoiding the attack of Kaguya. Huiye's gaze towards Naruto was filled with greed, as she wanted to plunder all the chakras on Naruto's body. But she looked at the young man with long white hair in front of her, her eyes wide open. I used to focus on looking at the chakra on Naruto and didn't pay attention to his appearance. She widened her eyes and swallowed her saliva, staring straight at the young man in front of her. The young man's long silver hair fluttered in the wind. His skin is fair as snow, and a pair of bright eyes seemed to penetrate a person's soul. Huey was stunned, she had never seen such a beautiful young man before. She couldn't help but be a bit stunned and exclaimed to herself, who is this young man? Why is he so beautiful? Naruto looked at Kaguya with a wary expression in his eyes. Undoubtedly, it is the big barrel with shining knight, the villainous boss, who looks so beautiful, can even take action. You should know that I stabbed Gangshou, and she didn't even hit me. Huey regained his senses and a blush appeared on his face. He lowered his head with some embarrassment. She secretly swore in her heart, I must get this boy. Huey, what exactly do you want to do? Naruto's tone is cold and indifferent. Huey looked up with determination in his eyes and said, You're right, Yui. I know I've done a lot of things wrong before, but I really want to make up for it. Please trust me. Then prove it with your actions. Naruto's gaze was sharp as a knife, staring straight at Kaguya. Huey nodded, closed her eyes, and began to concentrate her chakra. A powerful aura emanated from her, causing the entire spiritual space to vibrate. What are you doing? Naruto looked at her warily. I want to use my chakra to bring peace to this world. Huiye's voice was full of determination and determination. Huey's body began to gradually become transparent, and her chakra also became stronger and stronger. Yui, if my death can bring peace to this world, then I am willing. The voice of the knight revealed a deep sadness and endless pain. Huiye's body transformed into a dazzling beam of light and rose into the sky. The beam of light pierced through the barrier of spiritual space, reaching directly to the sky. At that moment, the whole world was shaken by it. Everyone stopped fighting and looked up at the sky. They saw a beam of light running through the sky and earth, and felt a sense of shock and awe in their hearts. In the next moment, all the time was reversed, and Naruto's forehead was sweating with cold sweat, panting heavily. Naruto looked at Kaguya in front of him with a puzzled expression. The reincarnation eyes in Naruto's eyes began to dim, gradually transforming into a pair of pale blue pupils. Huey held Naruto in her arms with heartache, tears filling her eyes. Yui, are you okay? Huey asked nervously, her voice trembling with concern. Naruto looked at Kaguya with confusion, and this person's thinking seemed too disconnected. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers will be added to the watch. I kneel down and beg for the support of all my adoptive father's flowers to add the watch. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Kaguya. Naruto, let's get married. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'm fine, Naruto's eyes were full of confusion. Huey breathed a sigh of relief as she gently caressed Naruto's cheek, her eyes filled with tenderness. I'm not a down jacket, I'm Naruto Vortex, Naruto corrected with a serious expression on his face. I know who you are, Yui. Huiyi smiled slightly, with an inexplicable emotion flashing in her eyes. No, you misunderstood. I am Naruto Vortex, Naruto corrected again. Huiyi was slightly stunned, then smiled slightly and said, okay, I'll call you Naruto. Naruto glanced at Kaguya in silence and then broke free from her embrace. Huiyi, can you tell me why you want to destroy this world? Naruto asked seriously. After a moment of silence, Huiyi spoke slowly. I used to think that this world was full of war, pain, and despair. But now I understand that there is still hope in this world. Are you lying? After being locked up for 1,000 years and still full of love for this world, I don't believe it. Naruto spoke coldly and seriously. Well, how do you know? Huiye's eyes were full of confusion, and she felt like she was pretending to be very similar. You're pretending too falsely, Naruto calmly exposed Kaguya's lie. So what are you going to do? Kill me and seal me again. Huiyi gave a cold smile and looked at the serious Naruto in front of her, but her heart was filled with fear. No, I won't kill you. Naruto shook his head. Because I am also full of disappointment in this world. The people in this world are terrible. I strive to rule this world for peace. Let everyone live a good life of being able to eat enough, and also constrain people with legal rules. But on these days, they feel like they're not free and uncomfortable. You must wield the butcher's knife at me and regard yourself as a brave warrior for justice, freedom, and love. Naruto's voice was filled with anger and disappointment, and his eyes revealed a deep pain. But you're different, Kaguya. Naruto suddenly turned his head and looked straight into Kaguya's eyes. Although you have made mistakes before, you are willing to sacrifice yourself to make up for them. Your heart is filled with love and hope for this world. Huey was shocked by Naruto's words. She didn't expect Naruto to say such things. A warm current surged in her heart, making her feel an unprecedented warmth and peace of mind. Can you really understand me? Huiyi asked with a trembling voice. Yes, I can. Naruto smiled and nodded. Naruto's words moved Kaguya to tears, and she hugged Naruto tightly. Thank you, Naruto. Meeting you is my greatest luck, Huiyi cried. Me too, Kaguya. Naruto gently patted her back. Naruto glanced at the system panel flashing in front of him, and his gaze towards Kaguya became even more gentle. This is a big rabbit, a big fat sheep. Huiyi tightly hugged Naruto, feeling ecstatic in her heart. A warm red cloud climbed onto her cold and pretty face. Swallowed saliva, but was afraid of scaring the child in his arms. She knew that she had successfully let Naruto down her guard, and her plan was quietly unfolding in her heart. Naruto, let's get married. Naruto's body stiffened and he looked at Kaguya incredulously. Getting married. Naruto widened his eyes, not expecting that Huiyi would suddenly make such a request. A gentle smile appeared on Huiyi's face. Yes, Naruto. I want to be with you and create a world full of love and hope together. Naruto fell silent. He looked at the woman with a blushing face. Is it so seamless? Huey, do you know what marriage means? Naruto hesitated before speaking. Marriage is when two people are forever together and together they conceive offspring. Huiye's eyes were filled with anticipation. At the end, the voice was a bit faint, but there was no doubt about it. His gaze was naked as he looked at Naruto, his face flushed with blush. Isn't this too fast? We've only known each other for a day now. Naruto cautiously said that he wanted to deceive this foolish woman into being a thug, but he didn't want to be stained by this rogue rabbit. One day. Huiyi widened her eyes, obviously not expecting Naruto to say so. We have known each other for 1,000 years, Yui. Call me Naruto, he said angrily. Okay, Naruto, Huiyi compromised. I just feel that although our time together is short, I have deeply fallen in love with you and I am willing to spend the rest of my life with you. You playboy woman. Naruto shook his head in silence. I'm not a playboy, I just genuinely like you, Naruto. Huiyi looked at Naruto affectionately. Naruto looked into Kaguya's loving eyes and said expressionlessly. Is this really good? Even if you're an alien, the ethics of mother and son are already involved. Although I'm not a down jacket, if you treat me like a down jacket, what? Huiyi looked at Naruto in confusion, unable to understand the meaning in his words. It's nothing, I just feel like there's some misunderstanding between us that needs clarification. Naruto awkwardly scratched his head. Misunderstanding. Huiyi frowned, her gaze firm and serious. My feelings for you are never a misunderstanding, Naruto. I am willing to do anything for you, even if it means sacrificing my life. Naruto's heart moved, and he realized that he could use Kaguya's emotions towards him to guide her towards his own use. He took a deep breath, stared into Hui's eyes, and slowly said, Hui, are you really willing to do anything for me? Yes, Naruto, Huiyi answered without hesitation. So, I hope you can let go of your hatred towards this world and work together with me to change it. Naruto's voice was filled with sincerity and anticipation. Hui was stunned, her eyes showing complex emotions. After a moment, she nodded lightly and said, I am willing, Naruto. For you, I am willing to try to forgive this world. That's good. Naruto smiled slightly, knowing that he had successfully pulled Kaguya into his camp. On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers and 1 watch, kneeling and begging for the support of all adoptive fathers flowers. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Teacher Gangshou, why can't you choose? You are listening at novel full.audio. But Naruto has overlooked one thing, which is that Otoku Kaguya is not an easily controllable existence. Although she is now full of emotions towards Naruto, it does not mean that she will completely obey Naruto's commands. She is a person with her own ideas and plans, and her actions are often unexpected. At this moment, Huiyi suddenly asked, Naruto, do you really want to be with me? Naruto was caught off guard by this issue. We've only met for the first time, should we be so enthusiastic? Is it really good for you to greedily crave my body like this? He gave Hui a deep glance and then said, Hui, it's too fast. It's only the first time I've seen you for me. Give me a little time, okay? Hui looked at the young man in front of him, his heart filled with complex emotions. She felt both sweetness and anticipation, as well as anxiety and unease. Okay, I'll wait for you, Huiyi said softly. Huiyi, I. Naruto suddenly felt a bit speechless. What are you? Hui asked nervously, her heart racing and feeling her breathing becoming rapid. I don't know, Naruto shook his head. You don't know what? Huiye's eyes flashed with a hint of disappointment, and her voice carried a hint of sadness. I don't know if I can accept you, Naruto's voice was low. Huiye's heart was in a sharp pain, and her face instantly turned pale. She looked at the young man in front of her and felt an unprecedented sense of despair. Can't you really accept me? Huiye's voice trembled as tears involuntarily streamed down her face. Naruto has a black line on his face. Is this all over? Naruto gently hugged Kaguya in his arms and said. Alright, wait a moment for me to go out and bring the world to its final judgment. Naruto, you must be careful. This world is full of unknown dangers, said Huiyi, holding on to Naruto's hem with reluctance and concern in his eyes. Naruto lightly patted the back of Kaguya's hand and comforted him with a smile, don't worry, I will be careful. And, don't I still have you? Huiyi burst into tears and smiled, knowing that Naruto was telling the truth. Naruto turned around, ready to leave this mysterious space. Naruto! Haruya suddenly called out to him. Naruto turned his head and looked at Kaguya. No matter what happens, please remember that I will always support you and be by your side. Hui Ye's eyes were firm, and her voice was filled with deep emotion. Naruto didn't speak, he didn't like this familiar rabbit very much. His figure gradually disappeared into the light, and Hui Ye's gaze followed closely. As Naruto reappeared outside, he looked at the crowd in front of him and said coldly. I'm not in the mood to talk to you about true peace now. You only have two choices, either submit or die. Naruto, you. Hui Ye's voice was somewhat puzzled. This is a bit different from what she just thought of as simple, pitiful, and cute. I'm fine, Naruto gently patted Hui's shoulder and comforted her. I'm just doing what I should do. Hui nodded. Naruto waved his hand and withdrew the clone of Seeing, looking at Ai, Zhao Meiming, Yitsang, and Sanoki, speaking in a tired tone. In the future, you will continue to serve as the shadow of these ninja villages. I am not in the mood to care about these things. I am exhausted, which will lead you towards prosperity and even rebel. Ai, Zhao Meiming, Yitsang, Sanomu and others looked at each other, their hearts filled with guilt and self-blame. Everyone never expected that the shadows in their village would be the object of their rebellion. It turned out that their background was so big. Why did you rebel in the beginning? Naruto looked at the crowd and said. In the future, you will be responsible for managing this world. I am responsible for monitoring this world, this is the last time. I don't want to have another time. Otherwise, I will take away everyone's lives and chakra to a new world. And their souls will slumber in the pure land of my mind. Eternal dreams. I will take this tomb of the ninja civilization and roam the starry sky until I find the next planet of life. In a heavy atmosphere, Naruto's words were like cold blades, piercing deeply into the hearts of everyone present. Their faces were pale, and their eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. Who would have thought that the young man who was once considered a hero by them would now declare the judgment of this world with such a cold face? Naruto, would you really do that? Gangshou trembled and asked, her eyes filled with both disappointment and deep concern. She had watched Naruto grow and had a deep understanding of his kindness and resilience. But now Naruto no longer seems to be the passionate young man. I will. Naruto's voice was resolute. This world has disappointed me so much. I have given it opportunities, peace and prosperity. But what have people chosen? War, betrayal, hatred. I will not be merciless anymore. At this moment, a powerful chakra wave erupted from Naruto's body. That force was so immense that the entire space trembled with it. Everyone felt a strong sense of oppression, as if the whole world was trembling under Naruto's anger. Don't. Tsunade's voice suddenly rang out, and her figure appeared next to Naruto. Her eyes were filled with sadness and determination. Naruto, you can't do this. You're not alone, you're the hope of the whole world. Your decision will affect countless lives. Naruto's eyes turned red and his voice choked up as he spoke. Why don't you understand, Teacher Gangshou? Why betray me? Why can't you choose me when I can't leave this world for you? For Naruto, this farce should have come to an end. All the old monsters hidden in the ninja world, except for the one in Otoku, have been forced out. Now there are no more concerns, these are all my future team members. How can I kill them casually? P.S. How do you think the combat power between Hokage and pirates should be compared? I used to feel that the fourth emperor should be at the level of Uchiha Watanabe in the Thousand-Armed Pillar. Now that the dominant color is entangled, and seeing and hearing the color predict the future, it feels a bit unreal no matter how it looks. Can those little crispy ninjas really handle it? On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers and 1 watch, kneeling and begging for the support of all adoptive fathers flowers. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9 6 Immortals. Mother, are you and Naruto different? You are listening at novel full.audio. Naruto, calm down. Gungata shouted loudly, trying to regain his emotions that were on the brink of losing control. Choose you. Gangshou's voice carried an unparalleled firmness and tenderness. She stared into Naruto's bloodshot eyes and continued, Naruto, you are like my own child to me. But I cannot ignore righteousness for personal reasons. You are the hope of this world, and your power should be used to protect it, not to destroy it. Naruto's body trembled slightly. But they betrayed me, Teacher Gungata. Naruto's voice was low, filled with grievances and pain. At this moment, the other shadows knelt down one after another. They lowered their heads, expressing deep repentance. Zhao Meiming felt a pain in his heart. He didn't expect that his beloved Shueiying would be Naruto. I also betrayed him, she said with a trembling voice. Naruto, we were wrong. Yi Tsang, feeling heartbroken, hugged Naruto in her arms. The reason why she joined this battlefield was mainly because Wind and Shadow brought him over by Bai Yi. She doesn't mind either. Saren is already the poorest country among the 5 major powers, and he doesn't have much resistance to the so-called brutal rule. He is just looking at the little guy in front of him with heartache now. The Wind and Shadow Lord in our own family will be causing trouble for half a day without a glass of juice. When did you suffer such great injustice? Sorry, Lord Fengying, I didn't know if it was Afei or you. But I guarantee that from now on, all Saren will obey you. You are our greatest Lord Fengying. No matter what you become. Huey looked at Yi Tsang with an angry expression on his face, but he also knew the severity and did not directly take action. He just said angrily, let go of your hand. Yi Tsang hesitated for a moment, but ultimately released his hand. She knew that now was not the time to confront Hui Yi. She turned to Naruto with an apologetic expression in her eyes and said, Naruto, no. Lord Fengying, we Saren never thought of betraying you. Naruto looked at the crowd in front of him, and his anger gradually subsided. After all, he is not a lunatic, he really wants to destroy the world. Everyone give him a step down, let him go with the flow. He took a deep breath and slowly said, I am willing to give you a chance, but this is the last time. If there is any betrayal again, I will no longer be weak. Alright, come with me. Go to the meeting and take care of the mess you've committed. And you 6 immortals, finally willing to come out. Keep an eye on me for a long time. Naruto looked at the distant phantom with a black line on his face, and it was this old guy who kept peeping at him all day long. De Guanmu Yue looked at his reincarnation, his eyes filled with complexity. You did a great job, Naruto. The voice of Otoku Hanyu was full of admiration. Humph, I know I did a good job, Naruto proudly turned his head and stopped looking at the big wooden feather jacket. Huey, do you know now? This is your son, Naruto looked at the nearby Huey and said seriously, pointing to the 6 immortals. Hui Ye's gaze wandered between Naruto and Yuki, clearly finding it difficult to accept this fact. She tightly grasped Naruto's hand, with a complex expression in her eyes. How could this be? You're clearly my feather jacket. At this moment, Heijue jumped out and ran quickly to Huey's side, shouting loudly. Mother, don't listen to him talk nonsense. He's not the reincarnation of the 6 immortals. He's just a shameless scammer. The dark words plunged the scene into chaos, and everyone began to discuss. Naruto looked at Heijue with a strange expression, and the child had no sense of existence. I almost forgot about the organization and this thing. I know he's not a reincarnation of Hanyu, but so what? My beloved Naruto. Huey lowered her head, blushing with embarrassment. I referred to Naruto as the reincarnation of my own son just to take advantage of it. I love only Naruto, Hui Yi repeated, her voice small but resolute. De Guanmu looked at the situation in front of him without denying or admitting. But still speaking seriously. Mother, you can't be with Naruto. Naruto is a chakra that I scattered in the ninja world back then. Because it absorbed too much human emotions, it gave rise to wisdom. So strictly speaking, Naruto is me, I am Naruto. You are both mother and son, I disagree, I absolutely disagree. The words of De Guanmu echoed in the air, adding a touch of taboo to the already complex and chaotic situation. Gangshou looked at the scene before him and felt like he had seen it before. Naruto had inexplicably become his grandfather's reincarnation back then. Having suffered a lot of rumors and gossip in how come I have now become the reincarnation of the 6 immortals? Everyone looked at each other, not expecting such an astonishing secret to be revealed after this decisive battle. Huey tightly grasped Naruto's arm, clearly beginning to escape reality. However, amidst all the arguments, Naruto appeared unusually calm. Yuki, I heard everything you said, Naruto spoke slowly, with no hint of wavering in his voice. But even though your chakra gave me strength, I am still myself. Naruto Vortex. I have my own will. The feather coat furrowed its brow. He remained silent for a moment, then nodded slowly. You're right, Naruto, you have your own will. Huey lifted his head, with a hint of determination in his eyes. Whether Naruto is a collection of chakras or anything else, all I love is Naruto. The atmosphere on site suddenly softened. Only Naruto looked at this old pervert, and this rogue rabbit was just craving for its own body. I am well aware of how much temptation one has for women. After all, this is already a second brush, and I still don't understand the fact that Huiyi is an old color swatter. The Otoku clan is truly a powerful race, possessing such powerful power. Even though it can be called a deity, it has no reproductive isolation from ordinary people, and its desires are so great. As Naruto's thinking became increasingly unclear, he quickly interrupted. He only has a small fortune in his heart, and women only affect the speed at which he becomes stronger. Alright. Naruto suddenly announced loudly, interrupting all private whispers and sighs. Strictly speaking, everyone's chakra in the entire ninja world comes from you. If you want to use chakras to build relationships, then the entire ninja world will be your descendants. It's all your reincarnation. Don't you think this is too ridiculous? Naruto's tone was inexplicable. At that time, he disguised himself as chakra reincarnation between the 1,000-handed pillars in order to fulfill Tsunade's destiny. He also became the grandfather of Gangshou. Later, Gangshou disregarded worldly prejudices and insisted on being with him. Strictly speaking, all of my chakras are created by the system. What does it matter to you that you have the power to drive and hang on your own? On the first day of the new book, 100 flowers and 1 watch, kneeling and begging for the support of all adoptive fathers flowers. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10-6 Immortals. I have never seen such thick. You are listening at novel full.audio. Otoku Hanyu choked on Naruto's words and became speechless. At this moment, Huiye's eyes as he looked at Naruto were filled with fierceness. Naruto was seriously skeptical that even if he were his son, he could still take action. After all, aliens do not have ethics, and it is unrealistic to judge them based on human concepts. She looked up slightly and said decisively, no matter who Naruto is, I will be by his side. He is the most important person in my life. Mother. You can't be with Naruto, this person is very dangerous, Black Jew urgently called out. Hey Jew, I don't understand why you oppose me and Huiyi being together so much, Naruto asked calmly. Hey Jew stared closely at Naruto, his eyes full of vigilance and hostility. Because you are an evil demon king Afei. You have also planned many terrible conspiracies. I cannot let you harm my mother. Upon hearing this, Naruto said with a hint of guilt. Am I just a little playful? I've become the supreme ruler of the ninja realm, so I can't indulge a little. Upon hearing Naruto's words, Heiju exclaimed angrily, Are you playful? Do you know how much disaster your playfulness has brought to this world? You can't be so stubborn. Stop talking, Heiju. You've been thinking about plotting all day. And that's how you talk to your mother's life-saving benefactor, me. Naruto looked dissatisfied. And you, de Guanmu Yue, don't think you're my past life or something, I'm afraid of you. If you keep talking to me, I'll make all humanity forget the existence of you as a god and make you a part of history. Everyone was dumbfounded at Naruto's words. I also want the Pure Land. Since you are my past life, if you die, I am entitled to inherit your inheritance. Naruto looked greedily at the 6 immortals. Including your 10 tails. Then Naruto looked at Kaguya and continued to add. Otoku Hanyu's face turned pale with anger at Naruto's words. He had never seen such a shameless person before, who dared to openly seize his inheritance. But he also knew well that the young man in front of him was no longer an easy presence to deal with. He took a deep breath and forcefully suppressed his anger, saying, Okay, I promise you. At this moment, Hui also spoke up and said, I am willing to give you the 10 tails, Naruto. She gave Naruto a deep glance, her eyes filled with trust and dependence. By the way, I also want your people, and I want the ancestors of the Pure Land. I will take them to conquer all worlds. They cannot be left here to eat dust. Naruto spoke the most terrifying words with a serious expression on his face. At this moment, everyone remembered that the young man in front of them was not as harmless as he appeared on the surface. Yuji Boban couldn't sit still and walked out directly, saying, Naruto, it's too dangerous for you to do this. You should still remember that you once told me that you hoped for world peace and no more war and destruction. Ban, it's you bastard again. When I was in the Shao organization, it was you who kept chattering all day long. You traitor. We agreed to work together for the unlimited monthly reading, but you betrayed us halfway through. Naruto accused with an angry expression on his face. Ban was snatched away by Naruto and his face turned pale with anger, but he could not refute it. What are you saying? Otoku Hanyu was taken aback, obviously surprised by Naruto's words. You heard me right, that's what I said, Naruto nodded confidently. As soon as these words were spoken, the whole room was in an uproar. Everyone was frightened by this crazy idea. Isn't this a fantasy? Even gods don't have this ability, do they? Are you crazy? Otoku Miyamura widened his eyes filled with disbelief. He couldn't believe that the young man in front of him had such crazy thoughts. I'm not crazy, I'm just looking for the truth, Naruto said firmly, his eyes flashing with a strange light. Daitsuki Hanyu remained silent for a moment, knowing that Naruto was someone who lived up to his promises. If he really makes up his mind, then no one can stop him. He took a deep breath and slowly said, Since you have made the decision, then I will also support you. P.S. I have deleted some useless fragments, hoping everyone can enjoy watching them. New book, 100 flowers plus 1 watch, kneel down and beg for the support of all adoptive fathers flowers. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.